What's up, folks? This is the Horrorphilia Jason, and welcome to the very first Horrorphilia Network of Podcasts weekly update. I just recently started a YouTube channel for the network, and my goal is probably every Sunday or Monday to release a brand new update video, basically discussing the podcasts that were released previously that week. Also, I'll have different things on the channel. I'll have when I do the top 10 downloads of the month. I'll make a video there. That may have some unboxing videos and maybe a few reviews. There probably won't be any podcast on there unless it's some type of special event video podcast. We may have some of those on there, but for the most part, it's just a supplement to the website itself. Here, I know a lot of people dig YouTube, so hopefully we can grow the channel very quickly here. So to get into a little bit of the updates here, I want to first discuss we have two brand new podcasts that just joined the network. First up is Cut to the Chase, and that is, of course, Dan Chase and also Alex from the Skeleton Crew. And this is kind of like a general interest, everything goes podcast. For now, you can find the podcast on the Skeleton Crew feed. Very soon, it will have its own page and iTunes feed that you can subscribe to separately. But you can find it there for now. They do still talk horror movies and other things like that, but they also, like for example, the first episode, they discussed Star Wars Rogue One. So, it's going to be an everything goes type of podcast. So I think you should definitely check it out, though. It's pretty awesome so far. All right. Then also joining the network recently is a brand new podcast called Death by Podcasts. And it's three hosts here. You got Joey, Brooklyn Mike, and Alicia B. They so far released their first 10 episodes on the website, which catches them up here. And if you haven't checked them out so far, you definitely need to check them out here. They're really laid back, fun podcasts, but they do, of course, have intelligent discussions about a good mixture of films. They do new films and also older films. And you can obviously tell that the hosts themselves are real fans of the horror genre. They're really knowledgeable. So definitely check out Death by Podcast if you haven't yet. So they're a great addition to the Horrorphilia family. So big ups to both those podcasts. Please check them out. And I'm also going to have two brand new podcasts that are joining the network, but I'll discuss a little bit more about that next Sunday's video update. All right, I also wanted to bring up by the end of 2016, the network has now 927,000 downloads, total downloads so far. And if we keep up the current pace, which I have no doubt we will, we should hit the 1 million mark sometime in April, probably the middle of April, somewhere around there. So there's going to be some celebrations and special events and things going on with that. So stay tuned to this channel or the website here for more updates on that. So one of the goals I wanted with the weekly updates is to discuss the podcasts that were released this week. And in the show notes, the YouTube show notes down here, I also have links to all these podcasts if you don't subscribe to the main feed here, which you should be. You should, of course, be on the main feed. All right, so I'm going to go over what result this week. This update is going to be a little bit longer than normal because there's tons of new podcasts released for the Christmas week. So starting off with some of the Christmas themed podcasts, the NFW No Fucking Way podcast. They do audio commentaries, and they did one for All Through the House. They also did one for Krampus. So check that out. You have Mr. Watson and Horror Corridor, episode number 6. And for that podcast, it's a brief history of Christmas time horror. And also he reviews Krampus from 2015. And also Mr. Watson's top 6 favorite Christmas horror films. Also horror micro reviews. So it's a jam-packed episode. So if you never checked out Horror Corridor, something's wrong with you. Get on it. And if you never heard of DWN's The Horrible Crap Podcast, DHCP, I like to nickname them here. Definitely check them out. They have a holiday episode here. Let me see, what do they say? They talk movies, micro reviews about the holiday season, and they talk about how one of them was molested on Christmas morning. So it's definitely not safe for work podcast. So if you never heard of DWN, I definitely recommend checking out that episode. It's a good introduction to them, at least. You'll know whether they're your cup of tea or brand of whiskey. All right, and also continuing the Christmas theme, we have the TGIF 13th Friday the 13th fan podcast, episode 29. It was their Christmas episode, and they reviewed A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. And also to go off of that here, Christian Luciani, one of the hosts of that podcast, in Exploding Heads, he also is a pretty good short film director himself, and he did a thing called Christian. It's called The 50 Deaths. It's 2 seasons of deaths of Elf on a Shelf. So it's like 50. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you know the Elf on a Shelf. He finds creative ways to kill him, and he put it together. He montaged it into like a 5-6 minute video, and you can see all 50 of the elf deaths, and that's on the website also, and I also put it on a few of the podcast feeds that he's on. So check that out. So that was all the Christmas related ones released in the past week. Now the non-Christmas related podcasts, you have my podcast that I released, which is Bloody Bits. And this was a special episode because I reviewed pretty much all the releases, all the screeners for the month of November 2016. So it's a long ass episode. Now I should have the December episode out really soon, and the January 3rd episode just actually came out today. We also had a release of Banana Lasers, the Friday 13th Part 4 final chapter video commentary. And if you never experienced one of Banana Lasers commentary, you're in for a treat. So check that out. Also, Evil Episodes, they release a new episode, and they talk about the season finales of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2, which I haven't even watched any episode yet, and also Scream Queen Season 2. So if you're into the horror TV Evil Episodes, definitely the podcast to check out. And they also discuss the Walking Dead mid-season finale. Besides talking about TV, they do review horror films, and I talk quite a bit about that too, so make sure you check that out. And then the final 2 podcasts I want to give special mention to, it's the end of the year. So, of course, a few of the podcasts are going to have their best of 2016. And I know we have a few more coming up, but so far there's been 2 best ofs. And that is Exploding Heads, their top 10, or top 16, but technically top 10 podcast, which is, oh man, it's an epic podcast, hours and hours. They discuss probably over 100 movies by the time everything's said and done here. So that's a super entertaining podcast. And then also Death by Podcasts. They have their top 10 films of 2016. And as of the recording this, I'm actually in the middle of listening to that, which that's really informative. They have some awesome picks too. So between those 2 podcasts, you'll find tons of movies that you need to catch up on for 2016. That was it. That's short and quick. That's all I wanted to do is give you a little bit of update on the network here. So if you enjoy this video, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Is that how it is? I don't know. I'm pretty new to this. This is going to be basic editing. I'm probably not going to do much editing. I'll have to learn the video graphics and all that bullshit to go on. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Until next time, peace.